If you've ever experienced grief in your life, you know the process is not exactly a straight line. And as a Westerner, I'm talking about, Western culture, we like linear things. We like things to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not really great with things that go 1, 5, 4, 2, 6, 4, okay? And it kind of bounces back like that, okay? Grief it's a journey. Okay, you can be fine for days and all of a sudden, wham, you get hit with a strong feeling and you can be crying or you can just feel like glazed over, maybe just missing a few moments as you kind of disconnect. Okay, it's not linear, it's not logical, it's not easy, it doesn't always make sense because you can go from happy to sad to angry all within a short period of time. So you think, what is going on with me? You are grieving, or the person you're ministering to is grieving. Okay, these emotions, they come in waves. And a lot of us, honestly, we don't have really good skills at emotions. We have a great book on our website called Emotional Fitness. I would suggest everyone get that book to be ministering intelligently about emotions, because if you can communicate how they feel to them and you can mirror back how they're feeling, they can know you're connecting to their heart, okay? But after losing a loved one, your grief can be triggered in everyday moments, holidays, seeing their bike in the garage, a t-shirt that they used to wear, a favorite song comes on the radio, even just a certain color that they enjoyed. Almost anything can trigger these emotions connecting you to that person, even just walking in a room that they lived in, going to that house, seeing a car that they used to drive. All these things can be like, wow, you just went somewhere. So understanding grief is important. We're going to talk through the different stages so that you can navigate grief, but also I want you to be able to help others that are close to you grieve well. The first stage is really shock. Now that stage is beyond words. You don't really know what's happening. Sometimes people curl up in a ball. Sometimes they scream like wild animals. Sometimes they just go quiet for moments or even an hour or two where they just can't say anything. What's happening is the lightning bolt of what's happened in their life is just kind of going through their body, and their body's trying to process the pain. And you won't probably be there for that moment unless you're there at the moment when they hear about it. But if you're in ministry and you're the person who's going to be there when they receive the news, what you're seeing is shock, okay? It's not demonic. It's not them having a breakdown. They are just in shock, and allow them to be there and just continue to support them. Say, it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Let it go. That's okay. They're worthy of this pain. Let it out. Okay, that's shock. The next stage can be denial. Now, denial is a mechanism to help you process grief. Grief is a whole mechanism to go from painful reality that you don't want in your life to accepting the painful reality in your life. Now, denial can last moments, hours, days, weeks, or years, depending what the grief is. Denial is kind of like, no, this didn't happen. That wasn't them in the accident. There's a misunderstanding. It couldn't be my son. All of that, and it can go on for a while. People sometimes are in denial about things in their life for decades, okay? But most people in this stage experience kind of a feeling of numbness, and they kind of go in and out of, let's just say, reality, okay? They have quite a hard time accepting the reality of a loss. In John 20:11-15, here's a classic case of denial. After Jesus' death, now Mary stood outside the tomb crying, and as she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white. They were seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. And they asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you were looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you've carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus was standing right there in front of Mary Magdalene and her grief didn't allow her to recognize him. Anger is another stage of grief. It's legit. You can be angry at the other person that maybe was part of the situation. You can be angry at the doctors. You can be angry at the tire or the car company. You can be angry at yourself. You can be angry at God. You can be angry at other people that were in this situation. But you can find yourself getting irritated at very small things and just kind of going off. And that's you just being in the stage of anger, but also just kind of you're emotionally raw. Okay, you feel that this is unfair. You don't get it. In Psalm 13:1-2, David cried out, "How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me?" And it's okay to feel this kind of anger. Jesus experienced anger. Okay, now just remember this though, in Ephesians 4:26-27, in your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you're still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Definitely process anger. It's okay to be angry, but don't sin. The next stage is bargaining. This is the kind of what if stage. Okay, you try to regain control by putting in some kind of thought is, well, if this didn't happen, if they didn't meet them, if they weren't there this day, if it wasn't raining, and you obsessively replay past events wondering what could have gone differently, what variable could we have changed, and you try to make deals with yourself or with God, okay? Here's what you do. God, if you'll bring them back, okay, or heal them, I promise I'll change. Like people make those kind of bargaining situations. Bargaining's legit. It's okay to feel the pain and want to process it. The next is the sadness, which can look like depression actually. And this is where the full weight of the loss starts to happen in your soul. You start to say, you know what, this is real. And this is where you can actually feel depleted with energy. Things can be harder for you to do. It's kind of like a lingering sadness that feels like some kind of fog. You're losing interest in things in your life. You withdraw from others. And you might find yourself frequently crying or having sleep issues or even weight gain or weight loss because you don't want to eat or you're eating all the time. And again, this is a normal stage of grief. Allow yourself to be sad. The next stage of grief is acceptance. Now, in acceptance, you are doing exactly that. You're accepting this painful reality as truth. You're not blaming anybody. You're not trying to fix it. Maybe not even trying to understand it. You're accepting that this loss is real. And you begin to adapt and begin to move on with your life. You begin creating routines and finding meaning again and moving through to the other side. And you can honor the memory of the person without being paralyzed. There's a sense of peace, even though there might be like this tinge of sadness, you accept that this loss is for real and it's for the rest of your life. Now, again, these stages are not linear. They're messy, they overlap, you cycle back through. And your journey will be unique, but talk about it when you're going through it. The most important thing you can do, don't rush yourself and talk to your friends.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.